Hello and welcome everyone to the Blood on the Bayou Series Circuit number 3, hosted at the Adventure Begins here in Houston, Texas. I am Josh. I am joined today by Jonathan, and we have Rob on Mario versus Andrew on Oscilio. How are you doing today, Jonathan?
I'm doing really well, Josh. Looking forward to see what kind of disruption Mario brings, and if Andrew can kind of sidestep all of that disruption and just kind of blast off on Oscilio. Looks like both players representing their heroes on their map. Andrew with Oscilio, Rob with Arakni, Web of Deceit. Not exactly Mario, but instead he has the really impressive Marvel, all the Marvel agents. I mean, Rob has blinged out this deck.
Yeah, Rob, him and his brother are very good players here in Houston. And I know that Andrew also has been playing a long time. Whenever I played Andrew before, he's been on Azalea. He's been playing Azalea for a long time. Always doing some crazy shenanigans with that, and now it's pretty. I'm excited to see what he can do here on Oscilio.
So, what do you think Oscilio's game plan? Josh, I know you've played a little bit of Oscilio. What do you think the game plan is going to be against Rob, who is going to put out all of these disruptive effects?
I don't know that you can really prevent. I think you're just gonna have to find your spots that you can actually do something and just plan for at least one card to be stripped out of your hand. And just it's kind of just like hoping that you can find your windows in the time that there isn't a ton of disruption coming out from the side of Mario.
And I think you're absolutely right here, because the more recent, and I'm interested to see what Rob's take on Mario is going to be, because a lot of the recent lists that I've seen are not as disruptive as your news or as your other kind of assassins might usually be. If Rob is on the dagger plan, I mean, sometimes you just send a big dagger for 10, and that might be something that Andrew can capitalize on.
Because if it is just damage, then he may be able to combat back with his own disruption. So I think we're gonna be looking for some interesting some things like the Oscilio, such as Mind Warp, can be a huge thing that we're looking for. We're going to be looking for the glyph overlay to be able to bring back some of the good sigils on the Oscilio and get them back on the board. If he can find a Mind Warp and some Sigils of Brilliance early on, then this may actually be pretty tough for Rob to handle. But we shall see what happens here. It looks like the players are getting ready to cut the decks and flip over the equipment and get this underway.
Who's going first? Andrew? I mean, I would think that Andrew maybe wants to go first. Set up
as the
some
aggro,
sigils,
yeah, I mean,
some instants, yeah.
There is...
Or maybe wants to go second so that they can instant some sigils and still draw up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said in both ways. But
yeah,
as the aggro deck, you may just want to be going second as Oscilio.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm interested to see what Robert flips over in terms of AB or Spell Void. Assassins, have the opportunity to have those the Widow's Veil respirators, Widow's Veil's crawlers,
the Widow pieces.
Yes, and looks like has 3.
So has AB3, Spell Void 3, keeping the Flick Knives. The loadout on the Oscilio side is very standard. The Lightning Greaves. I don't remember the name of the gloves, but it's you break sigil, you get amp, and the helmet. So gonna start out here with I'm pretty sure this is Eclectic. I thought it was eclectic magnetism, but it is. There it is. I can't spell.
Yeah.
Starting out with the eclectic magnetism into this
Sigil overlay.
glyph overlay. There it is.
Glyph overlay.
We're gonna have a good time with these cards today.
It doesn't help that many of the cards' colors just kind of look the same. It's kind of hard to tell between eclectic magnetism versus a flittering charge. I mean, they're all just kind of blue people. So we'll do our best here, but forgive us if there's a little bit of a misnomer here or there. Rob with the first turn.
Line up the cards, looking here to see what he wants to do. Thank you all for joining. By the way, thank you all for joining us here at our Blood on the Bayou series. As our road to World Tour Houston is coming up, as we have a Battle Hardened coming up in June, and that's where we will be concluding our Blood on the Bayou series, as well as a normal Battle Hardened will be going on. We hope that you all can join us there. If you're close or if you want to travel, it'd be great to see you all. And let's see what Rob has to offer here as he thinks to send out the clave and decides he doesn't need the leg pieces anymore. Just kidding.
Just one more person to thank. The people at The Adventure Begins for hosting us. Again, this is our third Blood on the Bayou series at The Adventure Begins, and they've supported us with prizing, allowing us to use their store. Definitely huge shout out to the people at The Adventure Begins. Rob. Hunter's Clave, Tarantula Toxin.
Then able with the reacts to, in the reaction step, able to block out 3 and not get the shred effect that shows up on Tarantula Toxin, kind of dodging that. And then the Leave No Witnesses here. Looks like we have 2 sigils in hand and just a current funnel to block with. So gonna go ahead and reach for the gloves to cover the breakpoint of this Leave No Witnesses, wanting to protect the arsenal that Andrew has here. And Rob going to transform as Andrew is marked and going to pick up Trapdoor. Pretty sure that's what that is.
Trapdoor. Yeah, so 6 will get you Trapdoor. Is he going to banish a trap? He chooses to not banish a trap. Did not side any into Andrew. So a bit of a whiff on the transformation there. One of the things that you want to see as a Mario is a person blocking out the last attack and you're still marked at the end of the turn.
So just the Sigil of Aether coming out for 1, and then of course we have the Marvel sigils, making this even more difficult for me to deal with.
Is that brilliance or electric conductivity?
If he draws a card, it was brilliance.
Yeah. Or if he gets a lightning token, embodiment of lightning, it's one of the others.
Yeah, the conductivity is the shelter. So the conductivity is Arcane Shelter 1. Gonna go ahead and block out the clave, and then going to go into the Persuasive Prognosis.
2 cards in hand, a little bit, little scary. Wonder if Rob's running the Justinix. Some of the Marios have kind of gone away with the Justinix. Andrew respecting a 3 pump.
That was brilliance. We did it. So blocks 4 here. See what Rob can present in reactions. See if he can get over here to look at the hand that Andrew is working with. Just going to pass.
Going to end turn, Andrew could play out another sigil if he wants to.
Could play out a sigil. Could also filter with Oscilio. Has a couple of things he could do here. Looks like he has a Mind Warp and a Blast. Blast to Oblivion.
One card in Arsenal as well.
Gonna move to his next turn gonna move to Andrew's turn as he ticks up the Tunic. Good way for us to know there. Puts out the sigil.
Amp. Bolzar. 3 Arcane Mind Warp. Has to deal all of this damage in order to get the Mind Warp effect. AB3.
Just able to AB3 that Mind Warp. So one of the critical cards that we talked about, seeing 2 of the critical cards we talked about at the beginning of this match in the Brilliance and the Mind Warp.
Looks like a Bonds of Agony, a Shred, and maybe a Black Widow. Okay, so Clay for 5 off of the pickup.
Off the pickup sticks, the up sticks and run. That's what it is.
Up sticks and run, yes. There it is.
And then now that Andrew is still marked, here comes the Stealth Play. Gonna block the 3, and if it goes over, he will have to banish a card from hand. Oh, it's 4 because of Mario.
It's +1 because of Mario. So now is going to reach for the armor.
2 in hand with the critical Gone in a Flash, which is really critical for the Oscilio combo turns.
Yeah. So shredding has to banish 1 for the Mark of the Black Widow.
Gets rid of this.
Does get rid of the mark.
And also just ends up banishing out the Sigil of Solace. Sigil breaks, gets to draw, picks up the Comet Storm. So what is an arsenal here? May have to filter with Oscilio, does so. Picks up another one. So those Comet Storms sticking together.
Could use it, yeah. I'm thinking pitch the Gone in the Flash.
Just gonna send in the Vanilla 5. Rob with the Stealth card. Is that a Kiss of Death and a Pick Up the Mantle and another Stealth card in hand? I think it's a blue stealth. He may be able to just AB3 take 2 here. Just takes the 5.
Taking it all.
I think that he's definitely valuing getting a longer combat chain and trying to get a mark here.
So that's a Bonds of Attraction blue. Flicking.
Flicks to mark.
Still attacking with the...
Oh yeah, has the Orb Weaver Spinneret.
There it is. Orb Weaver Spinneret.
So Kiss of Death.
Kiss of Death for 5, getting the plus from the Callistra. Must be a yellow Callistra?
A little awkward.
Yeah.
A little awkward because he needed to flick. Has he already flicked to get rid of the clave for the Callistra coming in? So can't flick the Kiss of Death?
The Kiss of Death. Yeah.
But Andrew able to block this out completely. And
so no go again here. Stays marked. Will change. 5. I believe that's Tarantula. So Tarantula gives you it saps you every time you get hit with a dagger. May be a good opportunity to use the daggers the Calicera here, which will have go again.
So just going to start off here with the Flittering Charge.
So Flittering Charge, one card in hand, it appears, and then one in arsenal.
Another Sigil of Brilliance coming out, giving it go again, and just going to pass the turn. Seeing 2 Sigil of Brilliance is pretty early here. That's good news for Andrew. Seeing some of his power cards. On the other hand, this is not good
Saber
news.
Bloodshed.
Saber Bloodshed.
Saber Bloodshed. And Andrew already marked, so we'll be able to draw off of this.
And with Tarantula already out, able to pump the daggers to another +3.
Does Andrew have a snag in arsenal? Maybe something like that?
Just snap, no blocks.
Snap, no block. Yeah.
Takes 5.
So drawing a card here.
Takes 5.
I mean, if this is just no disruptive effect here, Andrew really hoping to dodge a disruptive effect, has the Sigil of Brilliance on board, would go into this next turn with a 6-card hand, if he can keep it all.
Unfortunately,
That's a Bonds of Agony.
Bonds of Agony in hand.
But crucially, Robert doesn't have the kind of on-board reactions that a new might generally have.
Does have two on board at the moment between Flick and Tarantula. Would need to have the third.
And it would have to come from Arsenal.
$11 on the Calicera.
Yeah, so this is just damage. This is exactly kind of what I was talking about. This is just damage. And now Andrew with a 6-card hand. Yeah, Robert saying, I don't like the full hand.
It is scary whenever the Oscilio snap blocks and says, you know what, Saber Bloodshed, your power card, that's fine. So at the beginning of the turn,
popping everything.
Gonna pop the gloves, gonna amp 1 off the gloves as the Sigil of Brilliance goes away, drawing 1. Picks up another instant. If he has the Gone in a Flash, he doesn't have Tunic ready to go though, so we'll have to pay for the Lightning Greaves. Play the Sigil of Lightning. And here comes a Blast to Oblivion. Just coming in for 3, so it is the yellow. So if he can play an instant here, which he has, Blink giving it back.
Has another action point.
Popping it back, and now the gloves amp 2.
Yeah, Andrew doing a good job explaining all the triggers. Has another action point because of the blink. Has now go again because of the embodiment of lightning. 3 cards left in hand, 1 card in arsenal.
So right now I think he has a total of amp 5.
Might not need these lightning greaves.
No, definitely
playing
not
the same.
Probably Gone in a Flash turn here.
Okay, Sigil of Solace. Activating Volzar. Glyph over. Which one is that?
It is not Glyph Overlay. It is.
No, it's.
It's the one where he gets to go get him back out of. Gets to go his glyphs, his sigils back. Etchings of Arcana.
Yes, Etchings of Arcana.
Thank you to our lovely producer for saving us there. So this is coming in. Is he showing 11? I think he's showing 11.
Yeah, he's showing Oh, or is that just 6? The etchings of our. I mean, he.
Looks like Rob AB3 and still took 7, so it was 10. So he goes and
Okay, it
gets another Sigil of Brilliance back out. So able to start this looping of Sigil of Brilliance, which is a crazy thing to do in Oscilio.
Yeah. Starting, didn't have like a really good enabler for this kind of 6-card hand. Something like a Gone in the Flash, but was still able to do a ton of damage.
Just playing the snag out and losing the mark.
So that snag has been sitting there for a while now, and finally gets taken off the field.
Pick up a Comet Storm off of the Sigil of Brilliance draw. Looks like he has maybe a Blast. There's a Gone in a Flash. Does he have the resources to power this turn? He does have
the Lightning Greaves and the Tunic token. 5 cards in hand.
Looks like he has the Sigil of Aether that he can use to pop back the Gone in a Flash. But the Comet Storm Shock, the shock side of that still costs 2. Is that a channel? Is that 2 Channel Lightning Valleys? Maybe? Or are those blasts? Are those maybe blasts?
Hasn't seen a Channel Lightning Valley this entire game yet, so would love to see some of those cards that like really make the pop-off turns pop off.
So there goes.
Yep.
There goes. Takes 1, bounces it back. Has go again because of the embodiment. Trying to decide what is the next thing to do in this turn. Did not pop the Lightning Greaves, so has to find more go again if he wants to continue to bounce the Gone in a Flash around. I don't know that he has the instance to do it either. Here comes another Blast to Oblivion for 4. So on instant, he gets to pop back, pops the Tunic, pops Greaves. Base 2 for the shock. Volzair ticks up with that on the stack. Alright, so returning that back, and then whenever it leaves the field, arcane damage comes over. So Rob pitching to AB1. Puts it back out before the Comet Storm shock resolves, and then plays Volzair. So getting some extra amp on there. Andrew explaining how the Volzair is free because he has the sigil back on the field.
He's gonna start popping Spell Void.
So AB3, then Spell Void, and then Gone the Flash comes back out for another 4, puts down the sigil, and pops the Gone in a Flash back into Arsenal. Oh, there's some crazy stuff that the Oscilio deck can do. It is super fun to play, though, I'll tell you that. Pain in the backside.
Yeah, he just kind of went through a lot of game actions there to bring Robert down to 17.
So now he gets marked from the pain in the backside. This is... Getting marked is definitely a rough place to be. So Channel Lightning Valley is going to get put out at the end of Rob's turn, and then the sigil is going to pop and try and ping him for 1 arcane.
Yeah. So we're going to try to draw off this. But Rob's still with some AB. Not the full suite anymore, but some AB. Andrew has the Gone in the Flash in the arsenal. No more go again, though. No more easy go again from the Lightning Greaves. Looks like he has an electrostatic somersault.
So Rob committing a card here. Eclectic
Oh,
Magnetism.
no, that's the discharge. Yeah.
So electrostatic discharge coming out, and then Eclectic Magnetism. Coming in for 8.
A big 8 is what he said.
He can play.
Doesn't have go again. Has the Gone in the Flash in the arsenal.
So he knows it's just going to be 8 here.
Yeah.
He can't. If he draws a non-attack, he can play it as an instant here.
Filters it choosing out. To just filter it out.
Picks up a D-React though. Able to keep the channel around for one more turn.
The D-React is going to be helpful during this turn. He's not going to have any attack reactions, but that is the +4 dagger buff, front buff.
It's called Cut from the Same Cloth.
Yes.
So if Cut from the Same Cloth coming out, gave her the look of the hand, didn't see any attack reactions, but does just in general get good information, knowing that a Mind Warp is in hand.
Really good information. Attacking for 6 go again. And then
blocking 5 with 2 blasts.
And then Robert with a Leave No Witness in hand, I believe, could just fire that off to attack this Gone in the Flash in the arsenal. But Andrew with the D-React. Boom. Easy, snap, sink below. Yeah, he had it.
So now we have, moving over to Andrew's turn, we have 7 playing 9 here in round number 3 of the Ball in the Bayou Circuit series. Just going to be a Gone in the Flash 4/4 with no go again behind that, and Rob knowing that there is just a Mind Warp in hand. Savor Bloodshed.
Just a Mind Warp in hand, but still has a an on hit here. If he does take the 1 damage.
He gets to draw. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Rips the blink.
Rips the blink. And plays it again.
Good rip there from Andrew. Able to take a turn where he's just gonna send 4, sends 8.
Oh.
Okay, I guess we missed the block there or something. So I guess we missed the block with the Mind Warp. So puts down another Channel Lightning Valley to bring back the
but loses the Lightning Valley immediately.
Yeah, and then loses it, but brings back the Gone in the Flash to hand. And
got it. So really just prioritizing the Gone in the Flash.
Yeah, super prioritizing that, and now Savor Bloodshed coming out. 6 go again is the ask. And Andrew at 7 with no armor to block with, and looks like he does at least have some blocking cards.
Yeah, has blocking cards. It looks like 1 meld card on the side over there that but is kind of priced into blocking the entirety of this dagger here, unfortunately. And Robert can always just flick that other dagger if he wants that.
I think he may have
Savor Bloodshed.
Somersault in hand, though. Blocks 1 to his 6.
6 could just die here. Could just die here.
And even then, Rob should be able to draw another card.
Yeah,
Flicks the
so
blade,
flicking
puts him down to 6.
to draw.
To draw.
If he gets a pump here, that's a tarantula toxin.
Is it? Four is a heavy ask for Andrew to do at instant speed. And there's spell void too, so he has to do at least. He has to do a lot.
Would have to do 8. If that is a tarantula toxin, so what happens now is that, yeah, so Andrew looking like he's dead, but Robert wanted to wait until he knew that there was a reaction.
It's up to 9. Somersault, Sigil, 4 Arcane. Presenting 4 Arcane.
Spell Void.
Rob,
Just the last gasp.
Rob trying to think, are there any other tricks or things that he's missing? Maybe 2. And that's going to be the game. Andrew just trying to put it out to him. Rob able to take it home here with some big damage on this Marionette deck, and it looks like it is.
The daggers just do a lot of damage when you keep buffing them.
There is a lot of +4 for these daggers, and then the tarantula toxin is pretty crazy too. Andrew able to put together one combo turn. Nothing insane, but still pretty good.
It was pretty good. Nothing explosive. Wasn't able to kind of put those 2 equipment pieces together to get the go again and the amp, which is always, I think, kind of what you want to see. But was able to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, kind of stuck with that snag in the arsenal for a really long time and never a good opportunity to use it. So, Marionette takes it. Rob, I think 3-0 on Marionette. And that's it for Blood on the Bayou Series 3, Round 3. We'll see you at the next one.
Take care.